I'm just gonna start running for anything that isn't a Marlboro. Found one! No! Only one hit. I can't fuck up now. Yes! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you, bitch! Yes! And now we grab the balls. Grab them gently, though. They're kind of sensitive, okay? I'll stand right on your dick. You're gonna jump on it. Jump on your dick. Jump on your dick. Jump on your dick. Jump on your dick. Reach out and touch me, baby. Man, that is the shittiest roll of toilet paper ever. Get it? I'll see myself out again. Let me give you a tip. Don't ever stand in front of a dragon when he sneezes. He can't control his fire at that point. He will burn your ass. Take it from a dragon. I know. Ugh. 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 I really hate to say this, but his rectum is truly his critical spot. As I was doing the most damage when I was shooting him right in his ass crack. Say, you okay, Jack? You okay, bro? Cool. Good talk. Everybody put your hands in the air and say, holy shit! Welcome back to the Dragon's Lair. I am the illustrious, the one and only, the one higher than even the Dragon King Bahamut, higher than the Dragon God Shuyin. I think that's the right name. I'm even higher than that. I am the Crimson Dragon, the highest ranking dragon in all of existence. No, I'm not really that narcissistic. But welcome back to the Dragon's Lair. I am the Crimson Dragon. So glad to have you here on this Thursday. Hold on, ear itch. Hold on, guys. Ear itch is more important. Hold on. Okay. Anyway, glad to have you here on this Thursday evening. Now that I got my ear itch out of the way. How is everybody doing? Welcome in, everybody. Not really sure what I'm going to be playing tonight. I'm going to talk a little bit about a few things that I found on the on some some gaming news that look interesting. So I'm going to talk over about that for a little bit for a while. I want to talk about that for a little while. I probably shouldn't be talking tonight because I cannot word. Words is very hard tonight, apparently. But yeah, I'm going to be going over a couple of lists I found that I haven't looked up yet. Some other gaming news that caught my attention, and I'm thinking probably going to play some more Horizon Zero Dawn later. Possibly. I kind of want to get move along with that. I've reached a point in Horizon where we're at a one of the major plot points. We're about to I reached the ether, the location of the ether subordinate function, and I'm going to go about to. I'll go in and see what's going on there because I just got there. I mean, I literally just got to that point. So we'll probably do that. This evening. Hello, Holly. You are first in the chat. Good to see you. 10 dragon cookies to you. As always, hope you enjoy them. Glad to have you in here. Make sure everything's working right over here. Looks like everything is okie dokie. One of the things you claim. Oh, there you go, Holly. You claimed first in the chat with your Crimstones as well. So additional 10 for you. Enjoy your 20 tonight, Holly. A couple of things I want to go over. One thing that I was curious about. I want to start with this one. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Is this Marauders takes high-stakes looter shooters into space. So I'm thinking this is going to be something like Borderlands type thing in space. But what kind of worries me is this first line here. PvP, PvE. If it's PvP, I'm really not going to be interested in this. Really not. But, if there's a way I can, skip out on the PvP, I might be interested, at least in what I've read so far. Developer Small Impact Games, along with publisher has announced a new first-person shooter called Marauders, which is designed with mixed PvP and PvE in mind. Now, when it says designed with mixed PvP and PvE, the only thing that comes to my mind is Gambit from Destiny. Those of you who are not aware what Gambit is, it's a perfect hybrid. I mean, by definition, perfect hybrid of PvP and PvE. The PvE part of it is just like you got two teams of 4, and your objective is to destroy a boss that can be spawned. Now, there are conditions that you have to meet in order to make the boss spawn that you have to kill. Specifically, you've got to kill kill the enemies that appear, PvE enemies. Each team has to, and pick up what's called motes. They're just little drops that appear, and then you take those motes to a little bank, and you donate those motes to the bank, and you gain credit toward spawning the what they call the primeval, which is the name of the boss that appears. As you donate those motes, the more you donate when you on a single drop, you can send an enemy to the other side, to the other team's other side, and it will lock out their bank, preventing the other team from being able to drop more motes into their bank until the blocker is what it's called, until the blocker is defeated. Whoever's the first to stack up 100 motes and then kill the primeval that spawns wins the match. So that is the PvE. That's the PvE part of it. The PvP part of it is that with under certain conditions, one player from each side can invade the other side and take out the other team. When you invade the other side, the enemies that spawn are your teammates. The only thing that's actually can be killed on the other side when you're invading is the other players. And depending on what part of the game it's in, killing the opposing team players nets you different advantages. If the boss has not spawned yet, if you kill an opposing team player with that's carrying motes, they drop those motes and they cannot be recovered again. So, plus side there. If you kill an enemy on the other side while the boss has spawned, you restore some of that boss's health. They're primeval. So some of the health gets restored. So it's a good way to competitively. It's a competitive race, but you can invade from the other side. You can invade the other side and deter or slow their progress. So that's what the PvP and PvE mode that I know of exists, and that's in Destiny. I don't know any other game that incorporates a hybrid like that so well. Or I say incorporates it at all. Honestly, I have no clue. I've never seen any game that has a PvE and PvP mode mixed in like that. So this game must have that, or something similar to that. Set in alternate 1990s where the Great War never ended, humanity has fled to space, where many people are forced to scavenge space stations and the like to survive. The setting is retro-futuristic, offering a diesel-punk aesthetic instead of a high-tech, clean space fantasy like Star Trek. Players will raid cosmic vessels solo with up to 3 other allies for loot, such as new guns and gear, and hopefully make it out alive in the end. If successful, you'll likely have all kinds of new weapons and tools to bring into the upcoming matches and experience gains to boot. Or you can hawk them for extra cash. You see, what I was hoping for when I first read a little bit of this, I was hoping for, like I said, a Borderlands type thing. I was hoping for a Borderlands in space, even though Borderlands already is technically in space in some ways. Actually, Borderlands 3 can so you can go to multiple planets. But it's Borderlands in space. But we'll raid cosmic vessels solo with other 3 allies for loot. And see, that sounds fine. But here's the next paragraph is where the PvP aspect comes from. Other players raiding the same place can spoil the run by taking your team out during firefights that are likely to break out. I don't care for that. I assume when you're raiding the cosmic vessels, hey Brenda, how you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. I assume those that are raiding when you're raiding the vessels, that there are PvP or PvE rather enemies out there. I assume they're like, whatever you want to say, they're I guess the crew of the ship that you're invading are going to be the ones that are going to be deterring you. Because if it's going to be, because it says PvP, PvE, if it was PvP only, if you raided a ship and there was nothing on board, you're not really raiding anything. You're more like salvaging, I guess. So I assume you would be going aboard these ships and you'd be fighting the AI opponents as well as players that could come in and stop you and take the loot for themselves, I'm guessing. Not really, if they would take the PvP out of it aspect out of it, or if they made it to where, you could go in without opposing players deterring you, that might get my attention, but nah. Hey, Senior Iron Lung, how you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you as well. How is your evening? How's everybody's Thursday going? Good to see you all in here. So I want to take a look at the trailer here. I haven't watched this trailer yet, so this will be completely new to me.
Product not yet rated.
This is still in development. This is early '90s as well, as far as where the the story of the trailer is, which is interesting. It looks like a space battleship. I mean, like a World War II battleship, but in space. I don't know why the video is skipping like the video stream is skipping like that. It shouldn't be. I don't know why it's happening now. Hasn't been doing that in a while. Pissing me off that it's happening now. Hang on, everybody. Give me a second here. And we're back to the problem of it locking up again. This may be a shorter stream than I thought, because I'm not gonna stream and be able to stream if this is happening. You guys can't watch the video if it's skipping every 5 seconds. I may not be on here long tonight. Hi, Comet. Come here. Everybody wants to see you. Come here. Hi, everybody. How are you? Daisy. Same thing that's been happening lately, Holly. For some reason, the video, whatever's on the screen over there, the video screen over there, it's skipping now, like it's done before. I don't know why it's happening again. I don't know how to fix it. It's happening during this trailer too. Well, this stream isn't going to last long then. If this video doesn't, whatever the reason for this video skipping is, can't be fixed. I don't know what I'm going to do, as I'm at my wit's end when it comes to this shit. And I thought everything was starting to go well, but now this is happening again, and I can't stream with this happening. You guys can't watch a video that's skipping every 5 seconds. I thought this shit was fixed. Maybe I should quit. Maybe this is a sign that I should just quit. Because nothing seems to want to fucking work. I thought it was going well. No, I'm not doing fine, Holly. The video is fucking skipping. What you guys see over there is skipping. You can't watch that. That's not quality. That's crap. That's not worth a quality stream. That's not what I want to bring to my fucking show. And the reason I'm so pissed off is I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what the problem is, so I don't know how to fix it. I've asked on people on all kinds of different forums, and there's nothing. Nobody has an answer. And I was so looking forward to getting to start streaming again. I was so looking forward to it. I was actually getting ready to make up a schedule and everything. It's not this. I'm not talking about this video, Holly. I'm not talking about like the video itself. I'm talking about that screen, that entire screen over there. If I were to switch to a video game right now, it would be locking up. You guys can't tell, but it's still locking up now as it's playing, as it's displaying. You just guys can't see it happening because there's nothing actually moving on the screen. I'm gonna put my mouse in the middle of the video. If I run this like this, the mouse will occasionally stop. I bet. It would make me look like a liar now. I'm gonna be even more pissed. Play the video!
Not yet rated.
Click it like 3 goddamn times. No, Holly, it's not the video. It's not the fucker. That's not it. The video is moving fine as I'm looking at it. It's over on that screen over here that you guys are watching that it was skipping. There's nothing to do with the video itself. I'm talking about the stream part of it. Now I'm going to actually focus on it now. It's a shitty trailer, but I get the idea. In my opinion, it's honestly a shitty trailer because it's, you know, it does. All it did was show some first-person shooter gameplay, like I've never seen that before, right? Well, I'm not using OBS, but yeah, that's the problem. For some reason, when I say the video, I'm talking about that whole panel over there was skipping, and it happens sometimes when I'm playing a game or something. I don't know what causes it, because it doesn't affect this camera over here. It affects that over there, which I'm trying to point like where you guys can see that whole panel over there. Well, Jose, my stream, I was doing fine until my stream started acting up, but it's a problem I've had before, Holly. Anyway, but that's that. So if, you know, I assume this is still early in production, but if there's a way you could play this game without other players getting involved, there's you could actually like set it for just a PvE mode, I would be interested to try this. I really would. Let's see what else you can tell us about it. Full release dates are currently unknown, but a closed beta period for those who pre-order is said to be happening sometime soon, and we're entering early access this year. So they're pretty far along in production on this, so it could be. Let's see. Will be coming to PC via Steam and will also be available as part of Xbox Game Preview through PC Game Pass. Okay. All right. So is it for PC only? Huh. PC only, huh? Interesting. Like I said, if I can get around the PvP part of it, I might give this a try. Might be something fun. Um, no, it has nothing to do with the page, Holly. It's the fact that whatever I'm streaming over in that window is locking up. If I were to pull up my PlayStation now and start playing something, or at least a minute ago when it was acting up, the game video would freeze. What you guys would see would lock up every few seconds. The video game I'm playing would lock up on what you guys would see. What I see would be moving just fine, but what you see over there would be locking up. Am I making sense now? Are you understanding what I'm telling you is not happening? It has nothing to do with the video. It has nothing to do with the website. It's whatever issue my stream, I don't know if it's my Elgato, I don't know if it's XSplit, I don't know if it's the decoder or what. But anyway, it seems okay now. I'm not going to use the W word because God forbid. Anyway, in other news, let's see. I wanted to look at this. BioWare. Former BioWare boss is creating a multi-platform science fiction IP. Now, those of you who are not aware, one of my favorite RPG series of all time, which I need to stream, I've only streamed one of the games, is Mass Effect. I love Mass Effect. Great game series. Love it. Well, the three main ones. I have not played Andromeda yet, and I've heard that I could skip out on it if I wanted to, but I will get to it eventually because, for completionist's sake, if nothing else. And I need to play Mass Effects 2 and 3 on stream. But Mass Effect was created by BioWare. Now, also Dragon Age was as well as other things, including Star Wars: The Old Republic, Star Wars MMO, also a very good game. But Mass Effect is this game has kind of like a Mass Effect meets Destiny feel with the kind of like everything looking kind of dead here. So I'm interested in this. Delivering magical interactive storytelling by connecting talented creatives to powerful tools in a safe and supportive environment, blah, 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 blah. The background art on the site is reminiscent of games like Destiny, like I said, and GTFO. Of course, Mass Effect influences are apparent too, because, they're BioWare developer, or Mass Effect developer, BioWare, with ethereal alien ruins, craggy vistas, and hazy underbellies. I think this game is like really, really, really early in production because of what I've read of this article here. They only have like this screenshot, so this could just be concept art. This may not be in game anything. So I think they're still extremely early on in the production of this IP. So. And it says multi-platform, which can go one of two ways as far as I'm concerned. One way is I'm thinking it is going to be like when it says where'd it go? Multi-platform, that it's going to be multiplayer, like cooperative kind of thing, which would obviously be good because I'm always looking for more co-op games. Especially if I can find some co-op folks to co-op it with. Because if it says multi-platform, it makes me think it has cross-platform play. And if you have like a multi-platform or a cross-platform Mass Effect-ish type game, that'd be really good. Now, I am aware that Mass Effect... Did Mass Effect 2 have it? I don't think Mass Effect 2 had it. Mass Effect 3 and Andromeda, pretty sure Andromeda had it, had a multiplayer mode where you would basically just do some like... It was a co-op. It was basically a co-op horde mode in a real simple sense. You would team up with other players, which you had a wide range. No pun intended. Mass. You had a wide range of classes that you could choose from, as well as the different species of Mass Effect, which gave you different advantages and disadvantages depending on what species you chose, as well as your class that you played while you were in those matches. And they were kind of fun to a point. They did kind of link in to the galactic readiness of the single player mode. So the more you played the multiplayer mode, the better your galactic readiness was in the single player mode. But there wasn't really much that affected, I don't believe. What little research I've done, the whole multiplayer aspect of it, the galactic readiness thing, really didn't have much of an effect on story or on the ease or difficulty of the battles or anything like that. So I don't know. The multiplayer mode seems like it's a fun little thing to do with other players, but that's all it is. It didn't really have as much of an effect as I'd hope. Again, no pun when I said effect on the single player mode. But if they have like maybe taken that idea and brought it to an entire campaign for this game, for this IP, it might be pretty good. Might be pretty good. I wanted to see about the PlayStation Plus games for April. I assume these are always accurate. It says free game predictions, which means that this is not exactly up to date. It's not up to date's not the right word. This could be. I guess they're just guessing, from what I understand, which I don't really think is. It's not really reliable. I mean, if they're right all the time, then maybe it's reliable. But I don't know. I'm reluctant to actually believe these things when they say predictions. No, when I've been talking about the BioWare IP, Holly, that's a totally different thing. The BioWare IP doesn't have a title yet, as far as I'm aware. It's still in early production. Marauders was the BioWare. BioWare. God damn it. Marauders was the Borderlands-like game, well, what they call looter shooter. So just what Borderlands is, but in space, with a PvE and PvP like mixed in. So I got a feeling the BioWare IP that they're talking about here, we're probably not going to see anything about that, at least as far as like a release date or any kind of like near finality to it, until probably, I would be surprised if we got it before 2025. Unless they're just like really like, all hands on deck, super focused on this, because I know, while I keep saying this is the BioWare IP, you got to remember this isn't actually a BioWare IP. This is a former BioWare boss that started his own development company. So it's probably going to be a small number of people compared to a larger developer like BioWare. But they're obviously going to be taking their experience from Mass Effect and Dragon Age and Star Wars: Old Republic and all the the BioWare foundation games, and use that knowledge here in this IP. So yeah, Casey Hudson is the guy I'm talking about, of course. Ex-BioWare boss Casey Hudson. Let's see what this guy predicts is the April games on PS Plus. PlayStation Plus said amazing set of games available for March 2022, which includes Ark Survival Evolved, which, by the way, in case I didn't tell you, Jose, I think I did, but in case I didn't, I did download Ark, so we'll get around to fucking with it at some point, I suppose. Team Sonic Racing, I don't remember if I downloaded that or not. I probably did, which would be, since not all of us have a Switch, those of us, like Holly, like Jose, probably BMO, could all get together for some Mario Kart-like racing game, even though it's Sonic instead of Mario. I think that would be fun. I think it would be fun. And Ghost Runner, which I don't have a clue what Ghost Runner is. I don't even remember if I looked at it. Ark Survival Evolved is one of the most popular survival games out there, and still managed to have a massive player base playing the game on a daily basis. Yeah, I played a little bit of Ark back in the day. But I played it when it was like first release. I think I played it back when it was still like early access. So they only had just the one map, the one like map that you start with. They didn't add the things where you go to other worlds, other maps, and see other creatures and all that until much later. That happened way after I stopped playing. So it might be interesting to give it a try. Well, you see, Ollie, not all of us have a Switch, and that's why I was saying this Team Sonic Racing would be a good alternate to that, since that is on PlayStation. We all have a PlayStation. It's free for this month. So if you want to get it, better get it now, obviously. And it would be a good like Mario Kart type racing game, but with Sonic, like I said, instead of Mario. Since again, not all of us have a Switch. And likely not all of us will be able to get a Switch anytime soon. But if we all do get eventually get a Switch, I would like to do Mario Kart. I would also like to play the Mario Party games because I love Mario Party. I love Mario Party back on the 64. I always played it solo, unfortunately, because I was a pathetic type that didn't have friends. So I always played Mario Party alone. But I would really love to play that with other people. I think that would be a ton of fun. Your PS5 arrives tomorrow. Can't stand you. Holly. Sonic one more than the Mario one? No, I don't have my Switch anymore, Shannon. That's what I was saying. I don't have my Switch anymore for one. But eventually I would like to get one because I would like to play Mario Party, Mario Kart. I want to get to the other Switch exclusive games that I didn't get to because I had to sell my Switch, like Xenoblade Chronicles as well as Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. And there's probably a few other like Switch exclusives I wouldn't mind getting my hands on. I can borrow Mario Kart. Do you have the charging station that connects by HDMI? Because I could play that obviously without streaming it, but if I'm going to play it and stream it, I'm going to need that charging station, Shannon. I can't play without the charging station. Okay, that's good. We can do that then. That might certainly be possible. That's a great way to English there, Dragon. That's a great way to English. We're just heard. Ghost Runner, on the other hand, is one of the best action platformers out there with fast-paced combat and some really well-designed levels. Ghost Runner. I don't think I've ever even heard of it before now. For the month of April, we have not received any leaks so far about what games will be available on PlayStation Plus. However, there are some solid speculations that give us a fair idea about what we can expect in the coming days. Firstly, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, the upcoming game developed by Gearbox and published by 2K. There's a very good possibility that we could see a Borderlands game being added to the PlayStation Plus roster. Oh, okay. I get it. They're not saying that Tiny Tina's Borderlands is going to be on PS Plus. I was going to say, that's weird for them to release a game and it be on PS Plus. That's odd. But I get it now. But that does make sense, because they did that with Destiny. With Tiny Tina's Wonderland coming out, they think that there's going to be a Borderlands game that's going to be released on PS Plus, which, if that's the case, I'm betting it's probably going to be the Handsome Collection again, which would be Borderlands 2 pre-sequel. I doubt they would do Borderlands 1 as the PS Plus game. Even the Game of the Year edition. Which, if it is Borderlands 1, that'd be great, because many of you that have played Borderlands 2 probably haven't played Borderlands 1. So it'd be a nice little thing to throw around. And eventually Holly and I, and maybe, Jose and BMO can... I think BMO got a copy of Borderlands. I can't remember, but if she did, we all need to get together and do some 4-player Borderlands 2 and pre-sequel, because I've never played that game with 4 people. I'd like to do that. Same with 2, pre-sequel, and Borderlands 3. I've never finished 3. You had a Wii, Shannon? I don't think you ever told me that. So that makes sense. Like I was saying, they did that with Borderlands with Destiny, when I believe Beyond Light. I'm pretty sure when Beyond Light came out, Beyond Light was close to being released, if not releasing. Destiny 2 was the game of the month for PlayStation Plus. But that was also right about the same time that they changed the Destiny 2 to be free to play. Destiny 2 became free to play right about the same time that Beyond Light was released. Yeah, I do remember we were talking about that. Yeah, skiing. Yeah, I remember we were talking about. I remember talking about that and be like, yeah, I'm never going to ski. Hell no, I don't have the I don't have no. I just know. I don't think so. Lego game coming out next month. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. This could be that we get a Lego coming as well. Okay, so that makes sense. So they think that Borderlands is a Borderlands game is a possibility, as well as a Lego game with Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga coming out. I want to say it's coming out tomorrow or yesterday. Is the stream frozen? Hold on, let me see. Stream's moving for me, Shannon. At least over here on my screen it is. Two of you, huh? I don't know. It looks fine to me. Mine's moving along just fine. It's been fine, Holly. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Now, if somebody's knowledgeable about this, I could probably look it up and find out. If somebody's knowledgeable if somebody's knowledgeable about this, please let me know. But the Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga stuff, the previous Lego Star Wars games that I've dabbled in, they were co-op. They were hot couch co-op. They were same screen co-op. But would the Skywalker Saga be co-op across systems? Like if I want to play, say, with like you, Jose, or Holly, something like that, is that co-op? Does anybody know? If not, could somebody find out for me? Really appreciate it, because I'm really curious. Lego Harry Potter, yeah, and they got. Let's see, what do they got? They got Lego Harry Potter, Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Batman. Lego Avengers. I think I got Lego. They either have Lego Avengers or they have Lego DC. I can't remember which one was which. So yeah, that's their. It's not the actual story I was hoping it would be, but if they are going to bring a Borderlands game to PlayStation Plus, I'd kind of like it to be Handsome Collection again, because I think there was some that wanted to get it some time back. Some friends of mine that wanted to get it, I think like Bimo was one of them, that wanted to get it, but they didn't want to pay for it, or they didn't have money for it or whatever. And I get that. But if it's free and it is a Handsome Collection, I really would like them to get it, because I really, really, really would like to play Borderlands 2 and pre-sequel and eventually 3 co-op. Really would. First game you want to stream when you come back? Well, Holly, have you been playing Fortnite since it's gone no build? Let's see. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 update. I thought about playing this again and maybe doing it on stream this time. I played Xenoverse 1 and 2 back in the day, and I never finished it because I think one of the final fights of the story was too hard for me to beat. So I might give it another try again, especially if I do it on stream. You guys can help me out with it. I didn't. I was asking Holly if she had played Fortnite since it's gone no build. Now, if, and this is a big if Fortnite makes that to no build mode permanent, I might. Big, huge, everybody pay attention to me here. Pay attention to my words. Might. Capital MIGHT. Might play it again. Might. That is if no build becomes some kind of permanent option, not an LTM like it is right now. I saw the article you sent me, Holly, and I believe it. But until it actually gets input in the game, it's actually there, and it's actually going to be around for more than 9 fucking days, I might, huge emphasis on might, play it again. But I might also just as easily quit. I don't need to lose my shit over it like I did the last time. Granted, most of that is because of the building. Some of, a vast majority of it was also the aiming system, which hopefully they've actually fixed by now. I've heard that since like like an update after I made the video bitching about it, they seem to have fixed Fortnite's aiming system so it's improved. So I've heard. I can't say firsthand myself because I haven't touched the game since that horrid day. Holly remembers she was teaming with me that day, and I think I broke her eardrums. Just saying. But yeah, if they make that no build a more permanent thing, I might come back and play it. But I can't promise that I won't lose my shit and quit. I didn't really mean to rhyme that, but I'll take it. But as far as Xenoverse, I'm interested about possibly doing this again. The thing about Xenoverse, what I like about Xenoverse is it's the base story of Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super as well, I think, but with a little bit of a twist, obviously non-canon, and you can create your own character. You're not playing as Goku or playing as Vegeta or playing as any of the main cast. You are creating your own character, and you can make it any race from the DBZ series, which is cool. You can be a Majin if you wanted to, or a Saiyan, or a human. So I'm interested in trying to play this again. I also need to get back on Dragon Ball Fighters because I never finished the story of Dragon Ball Fighters. I think I played the first 2 arcs. I know I played the first arc on stream. I don't remember if I finished the second arc. I think I played the second arc. So I need to finish playing Fighters on stream. Climbing will still be there when building comes back. What do you mean? What do you mean climbing? What is climbing? I don't know what you mean by climbing. You mean like clambering? Fortnite is becoming Apex. No, because Apex is different because Apex, all your characters are different because of different stats and different abilities. All the characters in Fortnite have the same abilities, or lack thereof. They're all just players. There's no special abilities or anything like that any of the players, the characters in Fortnite have outside of picking up the spider web slinging, the spider goo arm shit that makes you sling around. Spider spooge. You climb up the ledges. Okay. I don't. You mean clambering? I don't. Okay. I suppose. Speaking of Borderlands, that will lead us into this story that I saw that I definitely want to see. Ranking the Borderlands series. So I'm going to think this is going to be like the top. Ranking the Borderlands games in top order, which this definitely has my attention. I downloaded Apex once and played the tutorial, and that was it. I never went into any other game because I was like, meh. It was really too much for me to want to learn. I mean, I thought maybe if I stepped into it and tried it, even with all the varied hero stuff, I might be able to get into it. But after I did the tutorial, I'm just like, I don't want to try to learn these heroes. I don't want to try to learn these characters. I'm done. Which is kind of odd to say because I got into Overwatch, which is basically Apex without the BR mode, and I actually like Overwatch. I really do. Now I pretty much locked myself down to like 1 or 2 characters, like Bastion. I'm okay with Reaper. Soldier 76, I think is what his number is. And I can't think of. There's another one I can't think of off the top of my head right now. But there's usually like 3 or 4 that I kind of quote unquote main. But I like that, but I couldn't seem to stick with Apex long enough to actually play the game beyond the tutorial. So, and of course, also Overwatch allows me to do the PvP maps and PvP modes without actually being PvP. I can play against the AI if I wanted to, and as y'all know, I prefer playing against bots than real people. Real people piss me off. That's why I prefer bots in Fortnite if I ever were to touch that game again. Anyway, back to Borderlands. The Borderlands series has left a permanent mark on the industry by popularizing the blend of loot mechanics and the tried and true first-person shooter. Throughout the 5 mainline shooters and 1 adventure game, its offerings of cooperative mayhem and absurd humor catapulted Borderlands among the most beloved shooter franchises in gaming. I agree. Even has a feature film adaptation in the works. What? They're making a feature film adaptation of Borderlands and nobody told me this shit? Genshin Impact? Yeah, I've played Genshin Impact and I like it. It's not bad. I do like how you can like rotate your characters / classes through at will. Hey Jody, how you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. I do like how you can rotate the characters through, like in a battle and all this stuff, and kind of turn it into a bit of a combo. But I haven't gotten a grip on the co-op yet. How do you get people to... How do you play with other people? Don't you have to get to like level 15 or something before you can actually like play with others? Because so far I've done nothing but single player stuff, which, it's been fine. But if I'm going to play with other people, I'd like to know how to do it. I did notice that Halo came out today on Paramount Plus, Jose. I didn't get a chance to watch it because Star Trek Picard came out with a new episode. Came out with episode 3, 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 3, 4, whatever. They came out with a new episode today, and I started watching that. And by the time I got through with that, I needed to start my stream, so I haven't had a chance to actually watch it. But I am really interested. Is it following the game at all? Well, I really hope they do. We'll have to see. I mean, if it's going to be like, if it's supposed to be like a prequel kind of thing leading up to the game, I can forgive it. But if it's in the same like timeline of the game, and the story is like massively different, I'm going to be disappointed. Yeah, Picard is good. Picard is good. I like how they brought back so many characters, and I'm loving the Easter eggs. I'm loving the Easter eggs of Picard. Was it the second episode? Yeah, it was the second episode featuring Q. I was like kicking myself laughing at all the references that he was making. He said like through a mirror darkly, which was a I believe it was a not Discovery. I believe it was an Enterprise episode where they actually did the entire it was a 2-part episode where they focused entirely on the mirror universe version of the Enterprise crew. There was the skulls of the people that the evil Picard had killed, like Gul Dukat, like General Martok. I thought it was like, that is awesome. They actually made those references to DS9. I want to say there was a third one that I noticed there was a Ferengi mask, a Ferengi skeleton skull in that collection, which was again also interesting. Yeah, it's Q, like the letter Q. That's how it literally is just Q, the letter Q. I love how when he first appeared, it had John Delancey in his like young, like normal, like his 80s looking version, and he goes to Picard and goes, "Man, you're looking old. Let's fix that." And he changes himself to look like he does today. I thought that was very, very well done. A very nice touch to bring the old man that is the actor, John Delancey, to a character that is supposedly immortal and unaging, and make it fit and make it make sense. I love that part. That's probably my favorite part of the series so far. And of course, 7 of 9 doesn't have her Borg implants, which I know has got to be like a huge like thing to her, because she's gone her entire life with Borg implants and nanoprobes all over the inside of her body, and now in this alternate reality, she has never been assimilated by the Borg. She's got to feel weird. She's got to feel like something's majorly missing. I don't mean just like seeing the implants on her hand and over her eye, but just like the feeling. I'm sure she notices that all those millions of nanoprobes in her system are not there. Which means she probably doesn't have the regeneration ability that she had when she was a Borg. So kind of makes you wonder if she could actually take a fatal hit now. Hope they don't like do something killing her off or getting close to killing her off. Anyway, back to this because I don't have ADD. I don't. I don't. Stop looking at me like that. I don't have ADD. Ooh, shiny object. I didn't know about the feature film of Borderlands. I'm interested in that if that's a thing. With Tiny Tina's Wonderland's impending release, now is a great time to reflect on the series and rank each game from our least favorite entry to our most beloved. All right, let's see. Let's see how this goes. Number 5 is Borderlands, a pre-sequel. Okay, that makes sense. I haven't played pre-sequel yet, and what I have played of, well, I could say I haven't played it. Excuse me, I haven't played much of it. I've played literally the intro because I wanted to kind of get a feel for the different character classes before I actually chose one. And what I have played of pre-sequel, I kind of like the classes. I've only got one that I really prefer to play. But I have looked up and found out that the game is excessively short. It is much shorter than 1 and 2 as far as like its overall like game hours. And there's, as far as I'm aware, there's no DLC to it. Whereas like 1 and 2 had like 5-6 different DLCs that were, you know, easily half as long, if not as long as the main game. So, and I've heard from multiple sources that pre-sequel is the weakest of the series. So it doesn't surprise me that pre-sequel comes up in the 5th slot. Had a tough act to follow in Borderlands 2. Although it doesn't come close to achieving its predecessor's heights, it stood as a respectable offering to fans who simply wanted more Borderlands. Moving the action to Pandora's moon offered a refreshing locale shift, using oxygen to propel yourself in zero gravity and execute gleefully dumb attacks like a butt slam. I didn't get that far. I didn't know we could turn into Super Mario Brothers and do a butt drop from Mario 64. However, the pre-sequel was ultimately a less engaging retread of what had come before and is what we started feeling diminishing returns with the Borderlands formula. Okay, yeah, so that's kind of what I expected. I figured pre-sequel would probably be in the last slot. Yeah, I do want to get Elden Ring. I actually do want to give that a try. I've been leery to get involved in the Souls games because of the notorious difficulty of the Souls games. But I've heard a lot of good things about Elden Ring. I mean, I haven't really heard of a bad Dark Souls game yet. So I'm interested in playing the Dark Souls games as well as Bloodborne. But I am interested to do Elden Ring. I still have to get it. It's new, and the big game that came out at the time was Horizon Forbidden West, which I really wanted to play more than Elden Ring. So I got that. So I need to conjure up some money out of thin air and give me a copy of Elden Ring. I'm sure there's some DLC coming for it eventually. It would make sense. Number 4, Borderlands 1. Wow, okay, that rated low. I probably would have ranked Borderlands 1 a little bit higher. Although I think 2 is the best in the series so far. I do think that 1 should be higher than 4th place. For sure. Oh, you thought it was co-op? Yeah, we should definitely have co-op it then. As long as it's not a thing where I know there are some games that are co-op after you complete the story. And I hope that Elden Ring is not that way. I hope that Elden Ring actually, if it's co-op, you can play the entire game new with another player. And not have to complete the game and then get the co-op partner. I don't know if other Souls games are like that or if that's just just other games that I've played. Is that good, huh? Any caverns or tunnels of no return, Jody? The game that started it all was an explosive epiphany when it arrived in 2009. Wow, 2009? Was it really? Was it really 2009? Wow. Damn, I didn't know it was that old. I thought it was like early 2010s. I mean, 2009 is not really that far off, but still, I didn't know it was that old. First-person shooting with Diablo-inspired loot, like peanut butter and chocolate. I agree with half that. I don't care for peanut butter. We would never have guessed how well these flavors would blend, and Borderlands inspired a generation of shooters after it. Borderlands was all about action, calling it storytelling and characterization light would be generous. Yeah, the story was there, but it was all in like dialogue, or it was all in text. You could, just read it. Wasn't really like a lot of cutscenes and detailed story. I think there was really only like, one true cutscene. I guess if you want to count the intro, there was 2 actual like cutscenes in the entire game of Borderlands 1. It was the opening intro, obviously, and then the ending that ended up being the boss fight to the destroyer at the end of Borderlands 1. So it was the cutscene that led into the boss fight. In 09 or 3. Yeah. In 09, I was much older than 3. The Pandora's eye-catching cell-shaded art, cell-shared art, cell-shared, I thought it was cell-shaded. Bizarre denizens, copious monsters, and oodles of firearms proved enough to draw a wrangle together friends to tear up its dust-covered landscape. I do admit, when I first played Borderlands, I actually did not like the cell shading. I really, really, really did not like the cell shade aspect of the game. It was kind of hard on my eyes, because that was the first game I ever played with that. If you're not familiar with the term cell shading, it basically makes the game look like a comic book. Like an old school, like superhero comic book with the outlines. Everything that has an edge had like a black outline on it. That's what cell shading is. And I was used to games that didn't have cell shading. So when I first played Borderlands 1, it was really hard on my eyes to look at because I wasn't used to it. Eventually, it's not, now it's not a problem because all the Borderlands games have it. It's a mark of their design, mark of their art style. And it fits well with probably one of the games that's going to be in this list. Telltale, who makes the Telltale's games, the adventure games, the interactive movies that I'm talking about, things like The Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, those kind of things, those were all cell-shaded games. And so, the fact that Borderlands got a Telltale's game, it just fit right in along with the art style and nothing else. The writing and the comedy is good enough on its own, but combine it with the cell-shaded aesthetics of what Telltale's games are known for, it's a perfect match. It's a perfect match. Devin said it's a great game. Well, a lot of people are giving it a lot of positive comments about Elden Ring. So, number 3 is Borderlands 3. Okay, that makes sense. While I've played a good bit of Borderlands 3, I can say I'm sort of disappointed. 2 is, as I said, the best in the series. 3 just isn't quite there. And part of my problem with Borderlands 3 is I can't get a grip on what it is that's missing. It's missing something that Borderlands 2 had. But I can't figure out what it is. It has, the same art style, has the same vast array of weapons. In fact, some of the weapons, the array of weapons is so large, it's actually kind of difficult to get a grip on what I do like, because there's such a wide variety and so many different ways that the guns work, and insane ways that the guns just function in general. They've added so many non-traditional ways to shoot a gun. It's almost overwhelming. But for some reason, what I have played of 3, I just feel there's something missing. And I can't put my finger on it. The long-awaited third entry can be aptly summed up as more Borderlands. While disappointing to those hoping for more meaningful evolution, I guess it's me. Finish packing? Nice. Didn't take that long at all, did it? Did you just throw it all in there after all? Did you just put your suitcase into the bed, open it up, and then have all your clothes in the bed, and just kind of do one long sweep into the thing and then close it? Did you have to get like other people to jump on top of the suitcase, and you keep jumping on it until it was flat enough that you could like latch it down, or you got like some? Did you get like some box tape and tape it up or something? I'm just wondering. Borderlands 3 doesn't try to reinvent the wheel, but smaller UI improvements and increased maneuverability make the tried and true looter shooter feel better in more subtle ways. Gunplay remains solid, and the sheer number of wacky guns almost feels like a joke in itself. That much is true. That's what I was just talking about. Unfortunately, the game suffers from having the most insufferable writing of the franchise thanks to its internet meme-inspired comedy. But if you can get past that or just hit the mute button, you're in for a dumb good time that simply plays it too safe for its own good. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's what the one thing I'm talking about. Maybe that's the one thing that's missing is what they're referring to is the villains of Borderlands 3, the twins or brother-sister combo, whatever it is. They don't have the same sinister feel as a villain that Handsome Jack did from 2. Granted, Jack's sinister nature was kind of was lighthearted because of his almost like it was almost a naive perspective. It was almost a naive perspective considering what he was doing. It was like both naive and narcissistic. He thought he was being the hero of Pandora. He thought he was the end all be all. He thought he was truly doing what was best for the world of Pandora, and that the bandits and the vault hunters were all the villains. He thought they were the bad guys. So he wasn't truly being a villain in the stereotypical villain sense. He wasn't out trying to just destroy the world or be like Sephiroth and like rule the world through some inane god complex, asinine god complex. While Jack did have a bit of a god complex in that matter, and the reasons I will keep spoiler free for now because I know there's people in chat that haven't played Borderlands 2 yet. His, setting aside the god complex, his narcissism and his almost naivete kind of melded together really, really well. That's what made Jack a really compelling villain. That, and of course, his writing was absolutely phenomenal, and voice acting was phenomenal. I mean, there hasn't been when I say he's a good villain, he is one of the best villains, I think, in gaming overall. Not because he is a menace, or he is, sinister, or like or scary in any sense, but just the way his character was written and developed and acted was great. That's what I think makes Jack one of the best villains of all of gaming. And I probably should try to make a list of like best villains in gaming. I should do that. Which reminds me, kind of on that subject of making lists, I'm actually in the process of trying to make more videos for YouTube, and what I'm working on now is what I call a countdown list, which is, excuse me. Alright, that all happened quickly. Alright, we can stop now. Sorry about that. Is a list of, like top 10 lists, essentially. But they could vary, the number could vary between like 10 to like 5 or something, but I'm going to start making like lists of like some completely random things. Like, for example, one that I'm working on right now is top swords in gaming that are not from RPGs. And what makes that unique is most time you think of a sword, you're thinking of RPGs, Final Fantasy series, Tales of series, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, things of that sort. But there are swords that exist outside of role-playing games. And that's what that list is going to be. It's going to be a list of swords that are well-known, popular, that are in games that are not RPGs. So that's kind of the idea that I'm going to do for countdown lists. So if you guys have suggestions for countdown lists that you'd like me to try to do, to make, let me know. Send me a message on Facebook, send a message on Twitter, on any of my social media, throw a comment in one of my videos on YouTube, I would be love to. I'd love to take some suggestions and see what lists I can come up with. Anyway, ADD aside again, back to the list. Let's see what number 2 is. Number 2 is Tales from the Borderlands. Okay, I never finished Tales from the Borderlands. This is the Telltale's game I was talking about. This is the is this locking up again? It looks like it might have stopped for a second. Tales from the Borderlands is a game by Telltale's Games, who made Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, those kind of games. It is not a looter shooter like the rest of the Borderlands games are. It is a interactive storytelling game where you pretty much are controlling only the dialogue. There's a few moments where you move characters around and stuff and like solve puzzles by, opening this and turning a door here and putting a battery in a radio or something like that. Think like I said, Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, and while these aren't Telltale's games, they still are the same genre. Until Dawn, Man of Medan, those kind of games. That's what Tales of Borderlands was. Telltale Games took the reins to apply its episodic narrative adventure chops to Borderlands. It was a questionable proposition at the time. Many would agree that storytelling isn't the series' strongest suit, referring to Borderlands. But Tales from the Borderlands shattered expectations to become one of 2015's most pleasant surprises. Reese and Fiona's adventure boasts the best writing and humor of the franchise, and the choice-driven gameplay incorporates Borderlands shooting and loot surprisingly well. Tales from the Borderlands is an occasionally flawed but successful experiment that fans should absolutely experience, as it showcased the best of both Telltale as a studio and Borderlands as an IP. Now, one thing I want to throw out here is what I do remember about Borderlands, or Tales from the Borderlands, is the voice actor Reese, the voice actor for Reese. Reese was one of my favorite actors of all time. Also a Dallas native, Troy Baker. I love Troy Baker. He's done so many characters that I absolutely adore. Joel from The Last of Us, Snow from Final Fantasy 13. There's Yuri from Tales of Vesperia. So many. He is a very iconic voice, a voice that stands out that you can spot almost instantly. He even played. He's not as easy to spot in Mortal Kombat, but he's the voice of Aaron Black in Mortal Kombat 10 and 11, I believe. So yeah, there's Tales from the Borderlands. So number 1 is obviously going to be Borderlands 2. Like I said, Borderlands 2, best in the series. They took what was already great. Borderlands 1 was already great. They took what was great about Borderlands 1, gave it some story, and made it bigger and better. And that's what Borderlands 2 is. The first Borderlands established the series winning template, but Borderlands 2 perfected it. Kind of what I just said, just a lot more succinct. The sequel scrubbed away the first game's monotonous brown environments, treating players to a colorful, environmentally diverse Pandora. Yeah, there was a lot of bland landscapes in Borderlands 1. And 2, you had all you had lava area, you had a snow area, you had ash area, you had kind of a grassy plain area, and of course you had a desert. A deleted post-credit scene from the new Batman movie. We'll have to mosey around to YouTube and see it sometime. The new Vault Hunters, such as Zero and Salvador, were a blast, a plethora of guns that gained distinct traits that differentiated their manufacturers. Yeah. My favorite character from Borderlands 2, I actually got a couple of them. I main 2 of them, but I think my favorite is actually Axton, the Commando, because of the turret. I mean, the turret. I wore that turret out. I probably overused the turret, but it's really good. It's really good. And you should be able to link it, Jose. Borderlands 2, most significant contribution to the franchise was expansion of the fiction. The story debuted fan-favorite villain Handsome Jack, injected personalities into previous lifeless heroes like Lilith and Roland. Lilith and Roland were 2 characters from Borderlands 1 that they moved over to BL2, but they didn't make them main. They made them main characters, but not playable. They were NPCs, they were contacts, they were the people that were guiding you through the game. And introduced mainstays like my favorite character of all time in Borderlands, Tiny Tina. I love that little girl. She is so awesome. She's so funny. I love her. Love her to death. I'm glad they gave her an entire DLC. Two entire DLCs now. The new Wonderlands thing, the Wonderlands that's coming out, and then the Borderlands 2 DLC that they released for it. Assault on Dragon's Keep. I love it. Love it. So great. Sir Hammerlock's also good too, but Tiny Tina is the best. It also boasts a fantastic suite of expansions such as Assault on Dragon's Keep, the precursor to Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Yeah. BL2 still feels like the franchise's peak a decade later and remains the definitive example of Borderlands is capable of firing on all cylinders. Yeah, I was really hoping that that Borderlands 3 was going to be an improvement on BL2, and unfortunately, I think BL3 just, like I said, just doesn't have it. Just doesn't have it. Now here's definitely something I want to take a look at. The best games of 2022, and I'm sure Elden Ring is going to be on this list. Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring was just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, no shit. No surprise there. All right, let's see. Where's our list? Start slide. Okay, sure. Let's do this. Number 5 is Horizon. Or this one is Horizon Forbidden West. What is this outfit? I have not found a green outfit for her yet. Interesting. Horizon Forbidden West was the pinnacle of the so-called map games. Lest you get the wrong idea, that is unequivocally a compliment and a selling point, even if you're burnt out on the format. What they're referring to as open world gaming is what they're talking about. Nearly every point interest in Horizon's world, a post-apocalyptic rendition of the American West, is worth checking out whether you end up finding a surprisingly complex tactical minigame or the first mission in a riveting chain of side quests. Then there's the inventive combat system based around futuristic bows and arrows. Yeah, all that. So yeah, definitely a good one. So yeah, I definitely agree on that. All set against a backdrop of a truly bonkers story anchored by an all-star cast: Lance Reddick, Angela Bassett, Ashley Birch. I know who Ashley Birch and Lance Reddick is. Why do I feel I know the name Angela Bassett? I feel I should know who she is. I feel like I should know who that is. You get a hang glider. Take that, Breath of the Wild. Yeah. Here it goes again. See, I'm scrolling up and down. And it's locking up. We may just do the rest of the this kind of podcast, looking over this news stuff, and then call the stream, because I can't keep dealing with that. I don't know what's causing that, and I can't keep dealing with it. I can't try to play a game when it's doing that. Pokemon Legends Arceus. All right, I've heard this is pretty good. I don't think I'll play it. The only interest I have in playing any of the Pokemon games are the ones that are like the traditional catch 'em all RPGs. You know, Sword, Shield. I would like to get Diamond and Pearl, the Diamond Pearl remakes. I probably want to get Diamond because I like Dialga. There's never been a Pokemon game like Arceus. It's not quite open world. Its story beats are nothing revolutionary. It's not even in the running for prettiest game on the Nintendo Switch, but somehow it does capture the magic of seeing a fire dog fencing bug or whatever weird creature stomping around the horizon like no game before it. Pokemon roam mountains, valleys, and forests ready to destroy you, but also befriend you and show off their personality once you've mastered the game's slick crafting, economy, and combat. Arceus is the best parts of Pokemon Snap and of the main series under one roof, transcending the limitations which cast a shadow over so many of its predecessors of adhering to rote tradition. Okay. I don't know. When I think of Pokemon, I think of just playing the traditional RPG catch 'em all games. I don't really have much interest in trying anything else. I never played Pokemon Snap. They had some like dungeon crawlers where the entire game is literally just playing as Pokemon. You don't play as a person or play as a trainer. I don't really have much interest in playing that. I think there's a Dota clone of for a Pokemon Dota clone Not really much into that. I mean, I wasn't much into Dotas anyway, but MOBAs, I mean, well, same thing. Elden Ring, of course. I'm surprised Elden Ring got a spot between. I'm surprised Pokemon got between those two. Elden Ring is the culmination of the From Software's ethos established almost 30 years ago with the original King's Field. Never heard of that game. Never heard of King's Field. But despite being the company's biggest game to date, both in terms of scale and popularity, it also knows how to get out of its own way. While Souls newcomers may struggle with Elden Ring's vague goals and overall challenge, oh shit. Every minor frustration serves to make its environmental storytelling and moments of triumph all the more compelling. And I have heard that despite Elden Ring and the Souls games' difficulty, their notorious difficulty, what makes them unique is that difficulty, once overcome, is very, very rewarding. Now, how that, exactly what that means is a little bit of a mystery to me. But, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's certainly, I guess it can be believable. Excuse me. Elden Ring is not a game that gently caresses your tired shoulders, but one that latches onto your back like a demonic monkey, an obsession made all the more difficult to shake by its copious checkpoints and the ease of which it allows you to drop in for a quick adventure and then jet. You previously wanted to get into the Soul series but bounced off its lengthy dungeons and backtracking. Ah, interesting. I like the way they put this. If you previously wanted to get into the Soul series but bounced off its lengthy dungeons and backtracking, Elden Ring may be just a From Software game that finally gets you over that hump. Well, it sounds like rough average playtime 77 hours. Holy shit. Wow. Okay. All right, let's see what's next. I don't even know what this thing is other than hideous. It looks like Gilgamesh from Final Fantasy if it got royally fucked by a demon. Nobody saves the world. I've even heard of this game. At its core, Nobody Saves the World is about making numbers go up. You play as a magician with shape-shifting powers. Initially, you can only transform into standard fantasy fare, think guard, ranger. The more experience you earn, the more forms you can morph into, eventually turning into a horse, a mermaid, a dragon. I'm all in. I'm all in. I have to. I have to. Or a freaking zombie. Every form has its own set of abilities, but you can mix and match moves across all of them and swap between up to 8 forms on the fly. Those you love a min-max grind, the one in Nobody Saves the World is as compulsive as they come. So I don't know what this is. I mean, it mentions experience. So are we looking at an RPG? Are we looking at an arcade game? I don't get what I'm looking at here. I don't know what kind of game it is. Um, Doki Doki Ragnarok. Is this like Doki Doki Adventure Club? A game about a Viking who dates villages. No, not villagers. Sounds like it's going to be either too goofy to be rewarding or too creepy to be comfortable. And yet it is absolutely superb. A genuinely funny, sweetly progressive game about ransacking fields and burning down farms, all in the name of love and pillaging. What's most crucial here is just how lovely it is. It's a warm hug of a game without any unwanted wandering hands. Also, we can confidently say it's a game which you can get friend zoned by a capital city. The way they describe that is weird. I don't know that I don't know. It doesn't sound like anything that's on my radar. Mm, no, I don't know. I may have to see gameplay before I would consider it, but right now, just on that description, nah, I'm out on that one. Really? 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 one of the top games, one of the best games of 2022 so far, is a word game on the phone. So outside of Horizon's Forbidden West and Elden Ring, that's all we've got? Really? Okay, Witch Queen. That's a little better. If you've written off Destiny in the past, it's time to change that. Good call. Destiny 2, The Witch Queen, features the best campaign the series has ever had. I don't agree with that. I think that the Taken King, this could be a nostalgia talking, but I think Destiny 1's first expansion, first big expansion, Taken King, had a much better campaign, and much longer too. Much longer. Really works the mind. Well, maybe I'll give it a try at some point. I don't really play much mobile games because, I don't really focus on that very much. But I know this is coming from me, a huge gamer. I don't play on mobile games. What a shocker! It truly is shocking. I know. Features the best campaign the series had, full of moments that go toe to toe with the likes of Doom Eternal and Halo Infinite. I mean, that's not, to me. That's not a really high bar. Not really a high bar. Doom Eternal and Halo Infinite stories were not that great. I mean, part of my problem with Doom Eternal's campaign was the fact that they mixed in platforming and platform/puzzle solving, mostly platforming, with the first-person shooter of Doom. I hated that. I hated every bit of Doom Eternal because of that. The shooter parts was a blast, no pun. I liked all the different weapon options you had. I liked the fact you had a shoulder-mounted launcher that could be a flamethrower or a grenade launcher. You basically had Halo Infinite's hooky low thingy on your wrist. I think you could Spider-Man your way around, but you had the fucking platforming and jumping from pipe to pipe, and then you had to platform, jump, boost, get a boost, and then jump again so you can make the distance, and then do a backflip, and then turn sideways, and then unzip your pants and diddle your dick around in order to get across maps. And that's not what I play Doom for. I play Doom to blow shit up, not play Mario Brothers. I hate platforming games in general. When you put them in my shooter, I'm out. Is Wordle some kind of crossword game? Because I'm not good at crossword games. I'm not good at crossword puzzles. It's the kind of expansion that reminds you of what Bungie was before it became the engine behind one of the most successful live service games in the modern era. Witch Queen is a stunning original take on a gothic sci-fi from top to bottom. With story to match, best of all, I like to ignore much of the MMORPG grind as you want to. Well, yeah, that's one good thing about Destiny is while it is an MMO, it doesn't require the same amount of grinding to become playable as some MMORPGs say Star Trek Online or Final Fantasy 11, Final Fantasy 14, something like that. Hey Brenda. Yeah. And I would agree it's a good campaign. I certainly wouldn't say it's the best one of the series. No. I think Taken King is the best and longest one, and it's far superior than Witch Queen. While Witch Queen is very good, it just means that, in my opinion, Taken King is better. Although the fact that the hive and the enemies now are casting your light abilities is interesting. Far Changing Tides. I have never heard this game. I don't have one clue what it is. Available now. Wait a minute. Did Stranger of Paradise get released? Is Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin actually out? Because I like the demo. What little I played of the demo. For a game about the end of the world, Far Changing Tides is remarkably chill. You, as an unnamed protagonist, are tasked with traversing through the world of a waterlogged apocalypse. Your goal simply is to keep heading toward the right side of the screen. Obstacles be damned. So it's a It's an Inside. It's a limbo type game. Far-changing tides ebbs and flows between quirky environmental puzzles and slower-paced sailing segments in which you raise a mast to catch a breeze or jump up and down on industrial-age bellows to fire up an engine in a rhythmic sequence that veers on repetitive but ends up being engaging enough to get you wrapped. Okay. Well, I do like Limbo. I did like Limbo. I never played Inside, but I did like Limbo. Did I play Inside? I actually can't remember if I played Inside or not. I don't think I really can't remember now. I know I didn't. I'm pretty sure I didn't stream Inside because it's not in my. I don't think it's in my archive. I really feel I played it though. Huh. Anyway, let's go on to the next one. If I can find my mouse. There it is. Are we still locking up here? No, it's moving fine for now. See when it locks up again. Triangle strategy. This is like a Final Fantasy Tactics game, isn't it? I can just tell by its design in this picture. Triangle strategy is an engrossing tactical role-playing game that makes the most out of its emotional Octopath Traveler roots. I never played Octopath Traveler, although it sounded like it was really good. I don't know if it's actually like MMO or MMO. I don't know if it's like an RPG type game though. I think Octopath Traveler was RPG, but if it's a tactical RPG, no, I don't think I could play it because I didn't care for what little I played of Final Fantasy Tactics, which is kind of it's kind of weird for me to say that, considering I love XCOM. I love XCOM, both 1 and 2. It's a great game, great pair of games. 2 was obviously better than 1. But I couldn't bring myself to like Final Fantasy Tactics. Speaking of XCOM, I want to go off on a little bit of a side road here. I believe there is a Mario game either out or coming out soon that is, that is along the lines of XCOM. And if I'm thinking of the right game, I would love to play that as well. I'd love to play like a Mario meets XCOM game. I wish there were more games like XCOM because I really, really enjoy both XCOM games. The story is comfort food for anyone who enjoys soap opera antics or a plot with actual politicking. I'm out. Its unique party vote system also ensures that every path divergence feels meaningful. The pixel animations are among the best in recent games. The map art takes full advantage of its Final Fantasy Tactics appearance. Somebody pick up the phone. I called it. The tactical system is very simple to learn, but also difficult to master. Even longtime Tactics fans will struggle with the maps that appear in the middle to late game, but the AI is fair. As a bonus, Triangle Strategy is the type of game that's easily be played after a first run. 37 hours. Oh God, probably because most of that time is probably the battles themselves. Vampire Survivors. Well, we only got 2 pages left, so if WWE's on here, we'll see it. Usually sports games like that, Jose, don't make these kind of lists because typically those games come out every year, and unless there's something like just extremely exceptional about them, they're not going to make a list like this. They have to be exceptional for them to actually be part of it because they're expected, because they come out every year, to be some level of good in some way or another. So they kind of like just automatically, I guess, like excluded from any of those kind of lists. So what is Vampire Survivors? Another game I haven't heard of. By all rights, Vampire Survivors should not be as good as it is. It very clearly rips off Castlevania aesthetics, utilizing a boring, blocky user interface suited for more mobile devices, and asks little of the player apart from walking through endless hordes of bats, zombies, and other assorted ghouls. So I see where they get the Castlevania references. And yet Vampire Survivors may just be one of the greatest games of 2022 so far. The game's power lies within its near constant dopamine rush. It's the perfect game to pull up during a boring work meeting or while waiting in lengthy Final Fantasy XIV queues. Okay, interesting way to put it. Few experiences in gaming today feel as satisfying as clearing the screen of baddies, opening a chest, and being showered with items and gold. Even better, Vampire Survivors doesn't try to nickel and dime you with mobile-style monetization, even though it would be the easiest thing in the world for its solo dev to do. Solo dev? This game was made by one person? That is, that's interesting. Thanks for the alert, Brenda. I don't want to know how you can forget a kid you so desperately trying to defend in a school fight. Oh. I think he just didn't remember that his name was, that he goes by, Tech. He changed his name to Tech, and I think he just forgot that. Alright. Page 12. Ollie Ollie World. A skateboarding game that looks very not interesting at all to me, honestly. It's 9 hours playtime, huh? Rolling Seven's Ollie Ollie World is a super cute skateboarding platformer, but don't let the vibrant color palette and charming characters fool you. I'm not fooled at all. I can tell you I don't like it. Like real life skateboarding, this game is tough. Which is why I've never skateboarded in my life. I think I put my foot on a skateboard once. 1 foot. That's it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't want to do it. I have no interest. I literally have no interest in skateboarding. I mean, there is very little in my life that I can say I have zero interest in doing it, and skateboarding is one of them. It requires immense diligence and focus to pull off the many gravity-defying moves in the game's extensive Trictionary. Okay. Clever wordplay there. But even if you slam, and you'll slam a lot, Ollie Ollie World is a joy to play, particularly because of its adventure time aesthetic, chill soundtrack, and simple controller scheme. It's steezy as hell in the multiple paths and challenges ensure you'll keep coming back to land the highest scores and sickest tricks possible. Well, I know what that's like, Jose. I've been forgotten. Last one. That was it. So yeah, WWE didn't get on here. You know, it's funny I mentioned XCOM, and then I see this exact article. 6 games you check out if you like XCOM. You think the site's hinting at something? I must click it. I must check out these 6 games to check out if I like XCOM. Few tactics games reach the high water mark of XCOM, but those that do are well worth your time. Okay, I agree. The venerable sci-fi series is considered best in class for the genre, thanks to a formula calcified in the widely praised XCOM Enemy Unknown. I prefer the expansion Enemy Within, and its equally praised successor XCOM 2. The spin-off XCOM Chimera Squad released in 2020. It's fine. Maybe you've played those games to death and are craving something to fill the void. I should probably try playing that sometime on stream for you guys. I should play the XCOM series again. I tried streaming it some time back, but didn't get very far. Mostly probably because of it was on Facebook, I think. So Facebook didn't do very good because it was you change your game, you get dropped out of the algorithm. Maybe you've played those games to death and craving something. What follows is a tastefully chosen, if I do say so myself, selection of the best tactical shooters that are like XCOM without actually, being XCOM. Hopefully it'll tide you over until XCOM 3, if that's a thing, or more realistically until the studio's Marvel-themed spin-off pours one of those silly superhero landings later this year. Yeah, I also heard that there was a Marvel tactical game coming. I heard about that before, and I'm interested. I wouldn't mind giving it a try. I'd like to see some screenshots or something, or some gameplay video, but I wouldn't mind giving that a try. As much as I like XCOM and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'd like to I'd like to play that. I think I'd actually like to play that. Let's see what these other games are. Oh, this is actually the one I was talking about, the Mario XCOM tie-in. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. To say that Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle is XCOM but Mario is as myopic as it is true. Both are turn-based tactical shooters in which you hide behind cover and fire pot shots at otherworldly horrors such as Rabbid Peach. The tactics game also places big emphasis on movement, allowing you to extend turns into wild, multi-arc strategies that can involve pipes and characters throwing each other around the map. But the biggest difference between XCOM and Kingdom Battle isn't the Nintendo-themed respray or the endless parade of Ubisoft mascot enemies. It's this. When Kingdom Battle gives you a readout indicating your likelihood of landing a shot, it seems legitimately reflective of your actual chances. Plus, there's a sequel planned for sometime this year. Wait a minute. So this game is already out? Kingdom Battle is already out? On Switch, obviously, because it's a Nintendo game. Alright. I will look into it. God damn it, it's doing it again. I wish I knew somebody that was smarter than me when it comes to the streaming stuff to tell me what's causing that to happen. Because I can't figure it out. Now, I'll try not to keep bitching about it, but god damn it, get on my nerves. Into the Breach. Into the Breach might not fit the mold of your typical tactical shooter. It's a lo-fi, grid-based game in which you see the whole battlefield from bird's eye view. More Fire Emblem than XCOM, it unequivocally deserves a spot on your backlog. Every level is like a puzzle in that there's seemingly always a correct solution if you can spot it. You pilot a trio of time-traveling mechs on a mission to save the planet from an onslaught of building-sized bugs. So it's Earth Defense Force, but a tactical game. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that it's like the low quality, old school, like Super Nintendo era graphics. I don't know. That's kind of a turnoff already. I don't think so. BattleTech. Oh, BattleTech. That's not... Okay, that's tactical, but it's not... Okay. Oh, okay, wait, hang on. I played a little bit of Mech Commander, which is not tactical in the same way XCOM is. Mech Commander was more RTS, was more real-time strategy minus the building aspect. You controlled the mechs that you commanded, and you ordered them around just like you would in RTS, but you didn't have buildings or bases or ways to build. You pretty much were doing a StarCraft meets MechWarrior mashup. That's all that Mech Commander was. Now, BattleTech, which is in the same universe, obviously, if it's more of a turn-based tactical strategy, I need to get my ass on this game. I need to get my hands on this game and play it because I love the BattleTech universe. I love Mech Commander. I love MechWarrior. I need to play this. This would be really, really good. I think it'd be really, really good to play. If it's really like an XCOM type thing. If Into the Breach is the lo-fi EP, BattleTech is the split polished studio album. Both games are tactical shooters that put you in command of giant mechs with giant payloads. BattleTech, however, features a full glossy 3D treatment. Unlike most tactical shooters, you're not limited to the confines of a grid. You can move your troops freely around a set area, demanding a different approach than what we've known with grid-based shooters. Okay? There's a riveting metagame which has you tuning mechs and assigning pilots to those mechs between missions, but the real clincher is its difficulty. BattleTech is tough as nails. Feast fans of the genre. Yeah, most BattleTech games are on the difficult side. They certainly can be. Wow. Playtime 74.5 hours for a tactical game? Good God Almighty. Phoenix Point. Oh, this screenshot alone, this looks cool. We got like some dude in a a typical futuristic army outfit, and we got like two Zerg creatures here from StarCraft. This just looks cool on this screenshot alone. You can't get more. Oh, hey, it's like XCOM than Phoenix Point. I like the way they put that. A tactical shooter that was literally designed by one of the creators of XCOM. Well then, that's why. Like its progenitor, Phoenix Point is a turn-based tactical shooter with an intermission metagame based on bolstering your forces. The big deviation is that it focuses more on Lovecraftian horror and the specter of climate change rather than extraterrestrial threats. Phoenix Point is also a tad bit more complex in terms of its in-game systems and enemy variety and such. And its counterparts are contemporaries, but that's your Jay would get a kick out of it. So it's a horror tactical strategy game. One more game I should put on my list of Gears Tactics. I did play a little bit of Gears Tactics. It's actually free on Xbox Game Pass, and again, it's very much XCOM with Gears of War. But my problem with what I've played of Gears Tactics, it has a permanent bug that they will not fix. At least last I heard, they refuse to fix it. There is a mission relatively early on. I would say maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 missions in. Where you have to have a minimum amount of soldiers in your party, in your group, whatever, in order to launch that mission, right? Let's just say the number is 4. You have to have four soldiers. And you're only allowed to recruit a certain amount of soldiers between missions. And you can obviously, retire soldiers that you don't need or have no, desire to keep for whatever reason. If you sell or get rid of those soldiers or retire those soldiers, and you have less than 4 soldiers in order to go into that particular mission, you can't play that mission. And there is no way to go back and get the ones that you've retired, nor if you've bought all the ones that you've gotten all the soldiers that you're allowed to purchase or recruit. If you reach your recruitment limit and you still can't get 4 soldiers or whatever the minimum number is, you're soft locked. You can't go back to a previous save and undo getting rid of those soldiers that you got rid of, nor can you go into the store and recruit more soldiers to fill the ranks to get the minimum amount that you're missing. So the game is a potential soft lock that you can't undo. And from what I've understood, they've stopped supporting the developers of Gears have stopped supporting the game, so there'll be no patch to fix that. So I might be willing to try Gears Tactics again now that I know that thing is now that I know that's a thing. Just don't ever get rid of any soldiers, and I'll maybe play it again on stream because again I did like what I played of it. It was very, very XCOM like. When you think of Gears of War, you probably think of the Xbox-defining series of third-person shooters. But the smartest game in this series isn't an action game at all. It's Gears Tactics, a spin-off set before the events of the main games. I didn't know that. You play as Gabe Diaz, the dad of Gears 5 protagonist Kate Diaz. I haven't played Gears 5 yet, but I think I do know who that is. And lead a squad of soldiers on a series of missions with various creative parameters, rarely ever confined to the rote structure of kill all enemies. A handful of primary characters have to stay alive for story purposes, but many of your recruits are procedurally generated and susceptible to permadeath as a result. But if that's not your speed, you can effectively clone fallen comrades using the game's robust customization options. Now that I'm not aware of. I didn't know about cloning fallen comrades. Maybe I didn't get to that point in the game. Perhaps that comes later. But yeah, what I never managed to do that because I had hit that soft lock that I was telling you about. All right, Fire Emblem Three Houses. A Fire Emblem game, huh? Let's see. This fits more into like the tactical RPG realm that I'm really not much for. Again, like Final Fantasy Tactics. Um, You can't talk about tactical games without talking about the Green Champ. If you've somehow slept on it, Fire Emblem Three Heroes, the latest in Nintendo's long-running series of "Let's have kids wage war" strategy games, has it all. What? You don't need any serious familiarity as its narrative standalone, nor do you need to know exactly how the combat works. It slowly onboards you to its quirks and systems for proclivity or for one-hit kills. And similarly to XCOM, there's permadeath if you want it, along with gut-wrenching personal relationships that'll make you regret letting anyone die. All right, the emotional, from what I'm reading there, it sounds like they've got some like story built in. So if you have two characters that maybe were friends or perhaps fall in love or whatever, and one of them dies, there's actually story around those characters that losing those characters being lost, that's interesting. That's interesting. Well, that is certainly an interesting way to classify the headline of this one. 5 fucked up things that happened in Kirby Manga Mania. That's actually a headline of a news story. All right. Okay. The best Switch games to play on a flight. Yeah. Because I'll be getting on a flight sometime soon. All right. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was the FarCry 6 Stranger Things crossover. Ubisoft announced back in September that Far Cry 6 would be crossing over with Stranger Things in future DLC, and today the company has revealed this crossover will go live tomorrow. I assume tomorrow being Friday. Ubisoft revealed that the Stranger Things crossover mission starts March 24th in a new teaser trailer released today that offers a quick glimpse at some of the imagery that will be featured in it. Excuse me. As expected, it features some sights that fans of Netflix Stranger Things recognize, like the infamous Demogorgon and the trademark red skies and more. Okay, so if you like Far Cry 6, which I haven't played yet, I would like to play Far Cry 5 on stream. Actually, I'd like to play Far Cry 3, 4, and 5 all on stream. I loved Far Cry 5. I mean, it was still kind of like mediocre and still fell into much of the typical or the regular stereotypical cliches that open world games have. But I did enjoy Far Cry 5. I really did. And so I wouldn't mind playing 3, 4, and 5 as well as 6. Although I do know that Far Cry 5, I don't know if 6 has it, or I don't know if 3, 4, or 6 has it, but I know Far Cry 5 is co-op. So if I can get a friend, not hinting anything to anybody in the chat, wink, wink, would like to get Far Cry 5, I would love to play it with somebody. I'd love to play Far Cry 5. Far Cry 6 got a crossover with Rambo. Did it really? All right. You like Stranger Things? I've only seen like a few episodes of Stranger Things. I mean, I'm not against it, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not like jumping for joy for it, but I wasn't like, ugh, this is terrible. And I still have yet to be able to get over the cringe factor that was the first episode of WandaVision. This mission will be playable by all because this weekend, March 24th to the 27th, Far Cry 6 will be free to play. Oh, right there. This mission can be played in alone or co-op. So I guess Far Cry 6 has co-op also. Well, I don't know that I would want to jump into Far Cry 6 for 3 days of free to play, because unless you play it for all 3 days for 24 hours a day almost, you probably wouldn't be able to play very much of Far Cry 6 because Far Cry 5 was pretty long. I highly doubt 6 would be any shorter. So just having it for 3 days for free, since I don't have access to, since I haven't purchased the game yet, I doubt I'd want to get involved in that. Getting Tiny Tina, yeah, I need to. We all need to, like I said before, we all need to get together and do Borderlands 2 and pre-sequel. I eventually would like to get 3 as well. Everybody get into 3. I have all the games already. I just like to get some friends to play it. Despite being announced months ago with a release date less than 24 hours away, not much is known about the Stranger Things crossover. It's certainly an odd piece of DLC considering there's not much, if anything, that connects the two franchises, but it looks like it's going to be a good time nonetheless. Fortunately, we don't have to wait long to find out because it's tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's all the news that I'd had today. I actually pulled up pulled up a couple of ones that I wasn't really expecting. I was kind of disappointed by what they about this one here, but yeah. Stranger Things is the most annoying and makes no sense show I've seen. Oh, I don't know. I think it's just like, I mean, maybe I still need maybe I still need to see an Act 3 for it. But what I saw so far, which was like, I don't know, maybe half a dozen episodes, I just feel like it's still on the build up process. Like there's still an Act 1. We need to get. I wanted to see something going, and it just kind of was like it's not getting there. I don't know if it's just a slow burn, if that's on purpose, or if maybe I'm just dumb. I'll probably chalk it up to that one. But I just couldn't seem to like. It doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Like it's actually getting to a solution, a climax, a finisher. It just seems like it's still trying to build up stuff. But maybe I just haven't watched enough. I don't know. I don't know that I will. I got so many other. Now that I'm actually watching TV now, I've got other things to be watching, like Star Trek Picard and Halo. Well, I am going to hope that the jumping problem that we occasionally have is still there. I mean, it may still happen. I just got to deal with it. But that's pretty much all I've got for today's Chatting with the Dragon. Should I make that a thing? I don't know that I want to make that a thing. I mean, the name Chatting with the Dragon. I don't know if I want to make that a thing. I already have the Dragon Tales set up for the podcast, so I think I'll just go with that. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for that stuff. I want to play a fucking video game. I want to play some more Horizon, so we're going to do that. Assuming the stream doesn't crash when I turn on my PlayStation. Like it did when I turned on the Xbox the other day. It looks like we're in the process of doing something here, so let me get the system to load up. I was just told I sound too innocent to swear. Well, Brenda, whoever said that, in their defense, you do sound like you're maybe 14. Maybe. And I say that with this, with affection and friendliness. I mean that is not an insult at all. I gotta update my PlayStation because reasons. Apparently, it doesn't update the PlayStation itself when it's on rest mode. Update system software. Give me a minute, y'all. Gotta update my PS4. The Hogwarts. Yeah, I've there's I know Bimo wants to play that. I think Shannon wants to play that. So yeah. Death Claws. When I play what? Death Claws are Fallout. Well, Brenda, maybe that's your hint. You should get you a PS4. I really hope I can eventually get my hands on a PS5 and Xbox Series S. I want to get the digital versions of both of them. Excuse me. I'm hoping that. Oh, I'm. Well, there's still some game. I'm hoping that I can still play some Xbox One slash 360 games on the Series S because there are still a number of games that I would like to play on those older systems. Um, you didn't care for it, Holly, because you told me you didn't. But I really want to get back into the Serious Sam games, because I've only played the third one on stream, and I want to finish off that series because I also bought one of the Serious Sam games that I have never played, which is Serious Sam 4. I was looking for that game to come out a long time ago, and I didn't, when I found out it was released, I didn't know it had been released. I'm like, wait a minute, this game's already out? And so I really want to play Serious Sam 4. I've played the first three. I'd like to play the fourth one, so I want to get through the story of the other ones. Alright, so my controller back on. Over to Horizon Forbidden West. Let's return to the fire-haired maiden that is Aloy. I know you tried it. I kind of wish you didn't try it where you did. You jumped into the game in one of the most hectic points of the game. Instead of like going along with us from the beginning, where it kind of like eased you into it, you dropped in right in the middle of hectic central. So I knew that was going to turn you off, and it certainly did. So I understand not wanting to do that. Are we okay on audio? Oh God, we are not. Wow, that is way off. One moment, please. Refresh. Holy Jesus. God damn it. What the heck? Oh wow. Okay, that just happened. Oh, very nice. Very nice. All right. That just happened. That's the thing. It just happened. Well, I'll be right back, everybody.